Hey guys, how are all my money makers doing today? Are you guys ready for the week ahead? And this is going to be an exciting week. Lots of stuff going on. Obviously, the big news is vaccinations start to roll out. So this is going to be really big because people have been anticipating this for a while, and it's finally here. The vaccinations have arrived. So this is just big news for the market. So normally a lot of times you'd always hear buy on the rumor, sell on the news, but this is big news, and it's just the beginning. So it's not like we've known this is coming for a while. Plus, there's going to be more news with more vaccination rollout with Moderna this week, going for their approval. Hopefully, to have that coming out in about a week. So lots of big news. So as expected, like I said on Friday, I think this is going to be a big up day. I think tomorrow will be a big up day. We've gone up and celebrated how excited we were about a vaccination coming, blah, blah, blah. Well, the thing is, the vaccination is here now. No more waiting. It has arrived. So interesting fact, I didn't realize over 100,000 Americans had been vaccinated during the trials. So there actually is 100,000 people already vaccinated in the USA who are part of the trials or who actually got the vaccination, not the placebo. So there's 100,000 vaccinated people already out here. Obviously, it hasn't made much of a difference based on current COVID stats. But this is exciting. Hopefully tomorrow they'll start getting, 60, 100,000 people vaccinated. And, we have up to, hopefully 20 million people in the month of December, plus with Moderna, maybe it'll be even more. But still, even if, we can get a decent, I think if we can get these health workers vaccinated, it's going to make a huge difference because a lot of it's probably spreading from health workers or different people in hospitals, or if they do get it, they go home. Obviously, that's the hotbed of it all, and obviously older people. So if we can get them vaccinated, hopefully stuff will start to slow down quickly. But at least it's finally here. Like the general said, D-Day has arrived. This is the start of hopefully the end. Fingers crossed it works. Still going to be a rough couple of months, but at least, maybe we'll start seeing some progress. And maybe, I have a feeling they're going to roll it out even faster than they say. They give us these numbers, but I have a feeling that it's going to come even quicker because you have to remember it's being manufactured here. And I saw Nancy Pelosi calling for the special act where factories, can help make stuff. But it is a competitive market with different companies making the vaccination. So it's going to be interesting. But I think tomorrow in the market's going to be an up day. Like I said on Friday, I think people are going to be happy. We finally have some good news. And you know what? And based on what the futures are showing, let's take a look at them. It is going to be an up day. So the future is already looking really nice. Look at that, guys. The Dow showing 184. S&P 20 put it at an all-time high again, and the NASDAQ 54 points. So the NASDAQ's obviously lagging a little bit behind, and as you've noticed, the NASDAQ keeps getting punished if everybody thinks there's a vaccination, somebody with no common sense apparently thinks that cruise ships are going to start sailing in a week, and that's going to make the market just skyrocket. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. The cruise ships and travel industry are still going to be beat down for months to come before they actually start going again and then producing a profit. And fingers crossed that this vaccination works. But the good news is at least the market's up. That's a good sign. You have to figure this coming week, we got two stocks in play right now, which is Apple and PFIZER. So fingers crossed. I'm shocked that PFIZER came actually down. I think it was a great buy. Worked out perfect for me last week. We made $50,000 about on it, and we got a great position this week. Already a nice profit on it, and we got $1.20 away from the strike price. I don't know what would come out that would make PFIZER, go down. If everything else in the market goes up and PFIZER comes down in price, I want what they're smoking because, actually, I don't want their smoking because it's obviously made their mind do things that don't make any sense. This is the most talked about company right now. So if you talk about the kids kicking the soccer ball on the playground and everybody following the soccer ball of what to buy tomorrow, I think Pfizer should have an amazing day. Also I'm sure Moderna is going to, benefit from it. Moderna has been all over the board. The thing I like about Pfizer is it's affordable. It's $40 a share. It hasn't done that, $100 crazy stuff like Moderna, went from $50, $60 to $90, $100 and $150 and then $170 and back to $140. It's been crazy. So I like what I see in the market for tomorrow. I think it's just going to be a good week. I think we finally have some positive news. So as long as the rollout goes well, which I think it is based on all the news stories I've been seeing and, how they're going to do everything. I think it's going to be, really well and stuff. Obviously there's some side effects with people with, allergies. So obviously those people shouldn't be getting the shots right now. The bottom line is, as long as it works better, obviously, they said pregnant women shouldn't take it right now, people under 16, but like I said, this is the younger people aren't having the issues, obviously, with the death with the virus. So, if we can get the frontline workers and we can get the older people and we can get those hospitalizations down and, deaths down, it's a success. And even if a few people, I see a comment here about, you don't hear about people who died taking it, every vaccination has side effects and something. But honestly, if 1 billion people take a vaccination and 100, even if 10,000 people die from the vaccination, but if it ends COVID-19, if we don't have a vaccination, we're losing just in America 3,000 people in a day. So like I said, I hate that anybody dies, but I would much rather have 10,000 people die from the vaccination than lose 1 million people over the next year from not having a vaccination. So definitely, good stuff there. But yeah, let's take some, you guys got any questions for this coming week? What do you think the market's going to do? Gamble the Globe Slot says, Raja, get on the blue chip shippers. If you mentioned it last week, I bought UPS and FedEx calls, and those should pay huge with FedEx shipping the vaccine. They should do really well. So it's very interesting. So I read an article at UPS said like they put on 170,000 or they're hiring 170,000 people to ship the vaccinations and all that. I don't know. Something didn't seem right in that article. Obviously you need people to ship this, but they already have a pretty good logistics system out there. And I mean, they're already flying these airplanes and flights. And even if they had 50 special flights a day, which they don't, but if they had to have 50 special airplanes with 10 people per plane, I don't know. I don't, and the thing is, this will be, I think where this will put a little strain on them is the holidays are already busy, for the shippers and, they're already, but you have to remember a lot of them are already up. So I think the shippers are going to do well. I think they have some room to go up, but I also think, after the holidays and, different stuff, you have to definitely, watch all that and stuff. So, definitely take a look at that. Let's see. What do we got? Any other questions, guys? Somebody says Chrysler Corp. Haven't really been following that one. Are they going to be? Do they have an electric vehicle coming out? Then because their stock will go insane. Interesting for tomorrow. And remember, like I've said, this guy, he's a genius and he's a nut job. Tesla. Let's look at it here. We'll pull up the CNBC. Let's go to Tesla. Once again, everything's going fine, and Elon Musk isn't happy. He has to just do something crazy. So they've shut down their Model S and X production will shut down for 18 days. So what does that mean? Well, nobody's quite for sure. It only accounts for 11% of their sales. But still, this is the guy who, remember, was going crazy, threatening California if he didn't open and do all this stuff. And now he's closing his factory on his own. So for 18 days. So and he's telling employees, we'll pay you for a week. We're not going to pay you for anything else. And you should volunteer. This was kind of disturbing to read. Let me pull this up here. It says, employees working on the lines were told they were being given a full week of pay for the forced time off, but were encouraged to seek shifts working for even volunteering in other parts of the business for the remaining unpaid days. So let me get this right. You are worth how many billion now? Your stocks near all-time highs are way overvalued. And now you're telling your employees to volunteer? Yeah. something. You're a profitable company, right? You just said you made money 4 quarters in a row, and now we can put you on the S&P 500. Why don't you just sell some of your personal stock if it's that bad over there? And they just did, to raise more capital to do all this stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, the guy is a genius. You can't knock what he's done, and he has a great product, but I don't know. Something doesn't add up. And this was also something else that was really interesting. Car sales were booming, he said, blah, blah, blah. And, they've had 2 price reductions on their, not the, or the Y or Model 3 or the Y, one of them. But yeah, why would you have 2 price reductions in the middle of if your sales are going? And, also I remember when I looked at a Tesla, the wait times were always like 4 to 6 weeks. And Brian in Denver, everyone knows, he got a Tesla. They had it within 3 days. They told him, a couple of weeks, 3 days later, people were canceling, and they had, other cars, and he couldn't get it in time for that one. But they had another. I mean, you can get a Tesla now within a week's time. So they don't have any backup. I have a feeling Tesla could be a big short coming up one day. So. Marjorie Vargas in the house says Oracle moved out of California. They sure did. They're moving to Texas. So everybody's. I've seen a few businesses are going to Texas, but and obviously Tesla too. But the real question is everything's okay. So these businesses go to Texas. Texas right now is obviously Republican. Texas, doesn't seem to care. They're leaving everything open. Republican ran. But my question is, what happens one day if those Republicans lose? And then what happens if the Republicans lose and all of a sudden a Democrat takes it over? They're gonna move to another state. You can't just move around and stuff like crazy. Logic Neo says Apple will be up 5% by Friday. This was also something. So I always watch the COVID stats, and I saw. So I always watch Colorado's, but I always like to look at everybody else's. So Colorado's actually been leveling off, so hopefully it'll do better. But look at Texas. I don't know if this was a typo the other day, but something seemed a little off. Like 58, it went all the way up here to 58. One day it shot up all the way here to 58,256 people. So I don't know if that was a typo or what happened, but Texas is definitely on the move. So I don't know. Like I said, I do watch those things, and I mean, and that's the thing I've come to understand now is I've said if you can have stuff open or you can do these things, but obviously if your hospitals are overran, it doesn't matter Republican, Democrat, or where you are. There's not much that anybody's going to be able to do. So definitely be interesting. But like I said, futures are looking really good for tomorrow. Like anytime they're all in the green, it's got to be a good sign. Doesn't mean they could all be in the green and Apple's down 20 points. But Apple just got some nice upgrades, a lot of products out. Don't see them going to, I don't see any bad news on Apple coming out between now and the end of the year. Knock on wood. Same with PFIZER. PFIZER is going to be like I said, if everybody's kicking, if everyone, and the other thing is I think you'll see like DoorDash and some of your there's no really big IPOs coming. All those IPOs are out of the way. People are going to start taking their money out of those, moving into other stuff because there's no money in those IPOs any longer. That money's came and gone. So, let's see. We got Andy says, I believe PFIZER will add $10 per share tomorrow. I don't think it'll be up that much. That would be fingers crossed if it is. I will be the happiest guy you've ever seen. But I would not bet on $10 tomorrow, just because that would be a 25% move almost up. And that would be pretty crazy. Anything's possible. I'm still shocked about Disney. So yeah, definitely be interested in stuff. Let's see. Well, thank you, Sanders in the house. So hit that thumbs up and make sure to click that gray bell. That's right, guys. We are going to be doing our live updates and stuff. And this coming week is actually going to be I'll be on the road, but I'll still be trying to do my live updates for you. So make sure you have those bells clicked so that you can join us live and stuff in your questions. What do you guys? What else you guys got? Let's see. Neo puts 2 to dilution of stock. Yeah, some of the Neos and any of these electric vehicles, I think, are way overvalued. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. What goes on with those, and definitely be interesting. So you got to check all that out. Let's see, Klaus. It would be cool if you could start an investment with just $500. So you can. You're probably one of the people who should probably check out Robinhood, where you can buy fractional stocks. Probably option trading would be a little hard to do with only $500, but you could definitely, buy a couple of fractions of shares and, see how they do and stuff. You'll make more money if you play stuff like a PFIZER at $40 a share, where you could actually buy 10 shares, 10 or 12 shares. And if it goes up $10, you make a little money versus, Apple. If you only own 3 shares and it goes, or 4 shares and it goes up $10, you're not going to make as much money. So just some ideas and stuff. But yeah, there's somebody we haven't seen very often. Matthew from the Mod Squad. What do you think about Nicola? We looked at that one the other day, and you've got that Heisenberg short and all that crazy stuff on it. That stock's been all over the place. I don't know. It'll be definitely be interesting and stuff. Hold on. Just reading here. So I'll show you guys when we're just reading up on it. But yeah, just looking at the chart here. It's got that Heisenberg. This thing was way up there. You have a bad CEO. There was panic about the CEO, shorting the stock. It seems to have reached a plateau here. I don't know. It's you're back to the same thing. Here's a company that isn't making anything yet. GMC or somebody's supposed to have that investment in there that change it. And this is the thing you have to look at right here. This earnings per share. So they're losing 74 cents per share. The P&E is negative 23. So you're 23 years in the negative with this stock. I don't know. It's it's hard to say. Hard to say on that. Hard to say. But you just never know. Those are it's hard to say on those. So Adam says, what about gold? Gold is like Bitcoin. If you like Bitcoin, buy gold. If you like gold, buy Bitcoin. It's imaginary. Well, at least gold is an actual object. But it's another thing. It's been so high, and how much higher can it go? I like it. I guess I don't own a lot of jewelry, but the jewelry I own has gone up in value. Rolex is worth more today than I bought it for. But most of us, none of us own 10 ounces of, or we're not sitting on 10 pounds of gold or, this huge gold position. So, outside of buying a couple of gold coins or something, but I don't know. I'd buy silver. It's cheaper. You can have more of it. And if it moves, it'll be better. These are, but it's things like, I don't know, people, if the markets crash, people get scared, they buy gold, they buy this. At least gold, you have something. Bitcoin's, completely imaginary. So it's definitely different stuff. Don't forget my Patreon members watching. Thank you guys. We are now 13 Patreons. So you guys get my live trades. Definitely have some trades this week. My plan is, if the market does go up, which I'm anticipating tomorrow, I'll probably take 200 contracts or more off of Apple and PFIZER. I don't know. I may roll up. We'll just play it safe. But we have $364,000 on the line this week, so we want to have a good. We want to fully make our money this week. This is gonna be a big week for us. So definitely that's what we'll be doing. But you guys, obviously, all trades I make, even when I'm on the airplane tomorrow flying, will be in real time. I'll be posting them to our Patreon play if I do make any. So, and also, if you guys send me, if you guys have any stocks you're interested in, like I said, I'm going to start buying a couple of, you guys can pick, I'm going to pick 1 or 2 stocks a week to buy some, contracts on. I don't know, it'll be at least 10 contracts, maybe 100, maybe 1,000. I don't know. It just depends on the stock. And, I'll do a little research and we'll see how it looks and stuff. So Eric J says, do you ever sell calls on stocks? I do sometimes. I go both ways. Right now I'm just doing this puts the puts seem to be doing really well for me. Covered calls also, if I own the stock sometimes, just, use whatever. I just kind of go with the market flow and what I think will make the most money for me. Exxon, oil and gases have been tough. If you have lockdowns, oil and gas isn't where to be, and travel issues. But I think where these stocks are probably pretty decent right now. I haven't researched Exxon, so I can't really speak on it. I'm imagining they have a decent yield or dividend that they're paying, so probably should be. It's probably pretty stable where it is. I don't think there would be a huge upside in it. Raja, what are your thoughts on quad witching, triple witching? It doesn't really matter. I think the only thing that will matter this coming week or next week will actually be Tesla with the whole S&P 500 edition. You could see some movement on that for the 20th or 21st, whichever day that is coming up. Is it? I don't even know what day it is right now, but I guess that'd be next week, next Monday or Tuesday. But it's hard to it's hard to say with those, but yeah, I mean, you'll get some moves. You're going to get, the last week of the year, you'll probably have some people taking some profits. You may, right after the first of the year, have some people take some profits to avoid taxes for this year. It's hard to say. I mean, you have to think of it like this. Every single person who's done nothing in the market, who just left their money alone in 401ks, or I don't know, they owned whatever, they've done really well this year. The people who panicked when the market crashed, they probably lost money this year, and then they didn't get back in time, or they got in, but they didn't make back all their money yet. And the people who had money on the sidelines and got in the market in, March, April, at the lows have done phenomenal. So it's really hard to say, just hard to say and stuff. So, Sanders Slots at Raja makes money. What are your thoughts about companies that are making huge money for products needed, like Lysol wipes, toilet paper? I know it's short term, but think it's a good to invest now. So yeah, I mean, obviously some of them have done very well, but it's like toilet paper, So Lysol is something we're going to keep using, and we may be using more of it, and we may get used to it and use more of it the rest of our life, and bleach and different stuff like that. But toilet paper, we are only going to use as much toilet paper as we normally use. So while there was a surge in toilet paper, there isn't a surge in people going to the bathroom. It's not like everyone's going to start going, number 2 twice a day instead of once a day or 3 times a day, which will cause a surplus in more toilet paper. So I think like toilet paper and some of those products, you're only going to use so much of that product that you're already going to use. You just had a run on it, and supply chains weren't able to keep up with it. And then, people panicked, and everybody, treated, it was like they said, the kid kicking the soccer ball. And I even fell for it, when everything started shutting down. I was like, oh my God, and you go to Costco, and the only thing left is the canned raviolis. And I wouldn't eat these in a million years, but I bought, a 12-pack of canned raviolis, and I have 11 cans still here, 9 months later or 8 months later of the pandemic. Because everybody was panicked, and everybody, I said for Thanksgiving, sales were going to be light on corn and green beans. And because I remember when everything panicked, Costco all they had was everybody was just jumping on, canned goods, and, the world was ending and nobody knew what was going on. So, definitely, those products are not going to see a big boost, and they're not going to change. But definitely products like Lysol or something like that, you're going to have a boost because people are using it in addition, where normally I never had a can of Lysol, or I have a can of Lysol, but I very rarely ever would think to use it in my house because my house was always safe. But now every time I walk in the door, I myself, and I tell the twins, I'm like, wash your hands immediately. Where normally I'd walk in the door, I may put the groceries away first or do whatever, and then I wash my hands, where it's like, you just change. And obviously everybody wants to be, cleaner and healthier. Andrew Craig, would you switch to buying puts or selling calls if the market starts trending down again? Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'd probably buy puts to open. The thing is, if you buy puts to open, if you buy puts, it's a straight bet. If the market goes up, those things are worthless if you miss out. Where at least with these, you can keep rolling them out. And you can do that with the puts also. But see, I like this, because if we're doing puts to open and we're playing it to acquire the stock, we don't want to acquire the stock, but you just keep rolling it out, and it always works. It doesn't ever have an end game. The only way that these things become worthless is, the stock has to go to zero. Apple's not going to zero. but with just buying the, puts to sell, if the stock, goes, wherever and you miss it, if the stock goes up 2 points, they become zero, you're done with them. So it's just different strategies and different ways to play it. And we'll be playing some stuff. We'll also hedge some stuff. We may sell a bunch of puts, let's say you sell 1,000 puts here to open, and then you buy, puts. So if it does, looking where, this is going to pay enough, but, there's a spread or a straddle in there. And we're going to do some different scenarios like that. My thing is just to get people acclimated, start watching what we're doing, so they, kind of give them a understanding. We want to educate everyone, just because there's such a wide range of people watching, and with knowledge and stuff. So just trying to get people going, see what people like. I have some blog posts that start coming out here pretty soon. Once the channel launches, there'll be a little different format. We have nice thumbnails. This is just like a pre-show. All these videos, like I've said, they're all going away. We got some upgrades at the office for the studio this week with new mics. We have new camera, so it'll be in 4K quality instead of off of a little Logitech, camera. So, like I said, better lighting. So, a lot of progress coming along. We just figured, why wait to launch? Let's get some people, get you guys going. Make sure everybody's enjoying it, see what people are into. So that's kind of what we're doing and stuff, and just having some fun. But I got time for one more question, and here's a comment. This won't count as a question. Brian says, "Thanks, Scott, Roger, Richter, for all the great information on stocks and investing, and get those booms on the big jackpot." Well, thank you. And that's right, guys. And for all my big jackpot people watching, we will be heading to Florida tomorrow, and then the Dominican Republic for 3 days. So it should be good. Let's see. Can we do a stock group, like a group pool? We all throw our money and you play with it. So unfortunately, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give financial information. And that one would probably, here's the thing, if everyone wins, it's always good. But if we ever had a losing week and somebody screamed bloody murder, the SEC would be all over us. So unfortunately, we can't do that. But you never know. Maybe one day I'll have a brokerage firm, and if we have a couple of million people watching the channel, and we'll have Raja stock trading firm. But nah, so definitely take a lot of funds to do all that. But you never know. I guess one day maybe I retire, become a mutual fund manager or something. But for right now, I'm just going to show you guys how to make money. We're going to start with $5 million the first of the year. So hopefully we have a bunch of money to take out of the account, because we made so much before then. And it'll be good, and we'll be off to the races. But hey, guys, I wish everyone the best of luck this week. I hope you guys all make lots of money, because you guys are my money makers. And this is Raja Makes Money, and we'll be on the road. So we'll definitely try and do an update while we're on the road. I may be in a bathing suit doing it from the pool, but you know what? That's the fun thing. You can trade anywhere, anytime, any place, as long as you have a mobile device. You don't need any big technical stuff. You don't need all sorts of crazy screens. You don't need any, tons of information. You just got to go with what your gut tells you, and that's how it works. So everyone, best of luck this week. Take care, and I'll see everybody tomorrow.